wide area network, or a WAN, a WAN, interconnects network locations that are geographically dispersed. For example, maybe we have an office in one city and an office in another state, in another city, in another country, but there's a large geographical distance between those two locations. We can network those two locations together through various WAN technologies. Speeds can vary. We might have towards the lower end a T1 circuit. That runs at 1.544 megabits per second. Maybe we have an ATM OC3 circuit. The way we draw this is we put a cloud in the middle. This cloud represents the service provider's cloud, and I'll just label that WAN for WAN. And when we draw a network connection for a LAN, for a local area network, you might remember that we would use just a straight line. Well, for a wide area network, instead of a straight line, we're going to use what looks a little bit like a lightning bolt. It's going to look like this. We're going to have a connection similar to this. There's one other type of connection that you might see in some of the diagrams. It's a dashed lightning bolt. So instead of the lightning bolt like I've drawn here, what if it were instead a dash like that? If you see something like that in the literature, that means it's an on-demand circuit. In other words, it's not up all the time. The way I've drawn these WAN connections, they're solid lightning bolts. They're up all the time. If you see one that's dashed, that might be like a dial-up modem. It might be like an ISDN BRI connection that dials up as it needs to be brought up. That's not really going to be our focus, but I wanted you to be aware of the dashed lightning bolt. So to sum up some of the characteristics of a wide area network, the sites are geographically dispersed. Even though there are some higher speed WAN technologies like ATM, typically WAN speeds are less than LAN speeds. And we're going to be able to connect into a service provider that's going to interconnect those locations. Of course, within the locations, we might have a LAN. Within this building, we can have one or more local area networks. Within this building, we could have one or more local area networks, but then they interconnect, the buildings interconnect through the wide area network.